Today we're going to take one of the geometry lessons, lines and line segments. It is a lesson that it's far away from numbers and its calculation. We're going to learn more about drawings, lines, line segments, and intersecting parallel lines, perpendicular lines. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Now about a point. What is a point? In math, it's totally different from what I took it in English. For example, in English, I end my sentence with a full stop, or I can say it's a period or a point. In math, it's different. For example, I have point A here. I can have point B here, point C here. So, what is a point? Point, it is an exact position. It has a specific position. Now I'm going to move to the meaning of lines and how I make a line and from what it's made up of. I'm going to show you, this is a point, right? If I'm going to put another point beside it, another. So here I have a group of points that they are connected together. If you're going to look in a close way, a very near way, you're going to see it is what? A line. And this line, it can continue from this side or it can continue from this side. So, what is a line? A line, it's a group of what? Points that they are connected together and it can continue from both directions. So, from here it can continue and from the other direction it can continue. If you have a look at this drawing, you're going to see that this is a line, okay? And you're going to notice that at the end, I have an arrow. Why did I use an arrow? An arrow is to show that my line, it's going to be continuous. It's going to continue from both sides. So a line, it's a group of points that it's continuous. It doesn't stop from both sides. And I use an arrow to show that it can continue from both sides. Now, if you look at this drawing, you're going to see that this is a line, right? This is a line. Here I have an arrow, and here I have an arrow, so it's going to continue from both sides, okay? Then I'm going to bring the scissor, and I'm going to cut a small piece from this line. So I'm going to cut from here and here. So this is the part that I got. So this is my part. If you look at my part, does it have any arrow at the ending? No. It has a point here and a point here. What does it mean? This means this part of the line that I took, it stops from both sides. So it can't continue from both sides. It's going to stop from this side and it's going to stop from this side. This means I'm going to call my part line segment. What do I mean by line segment? It is part of a line that it stops from both sides. So by definition, the line segment is part of a line that has end points, and I'm going to show you this is my end point and this is my end point, and it's a part of a line. Now if you look at the following drawing, this part here, okay, sorry. If I'm going to look at this drawing here, the yellow and the red arrow. So if you're going to look at my drawing here, the yellow and the red lines, okay, here, you're going to see that this is the yellow line and this is the red line. They meet with each other. They cross each other at a point, which is the purple point here. So when I have two lines that they meet, they cross at a point, I call these lines intersecting lines. Okay? Do you think it's necessary to have only two lines? No. If you have a look at this drawing here, you're going to see that I have three lines, okay, and they are intersecting with each other. You're going to see that the green line, okay, it's meeting the other line here. So I'm going to call this intersecting point. What's the meaning of intersecting point? It is the point where the two lines meet or cross each other, and I have this line with this line, they meet with each other here, and I have this line with the green line, they meet each other here. So in this example I have three intersecting points. Okay, if you have a look at this picture here, you're going to see I have this road and I have this road, and these two roads, they meet each other at this intersecting point. So I can call these two lines intersecting lines, or these two roads intersecting lines. I want you to have a look at this drawing. The two blue lines, okay, if you look, do they meet at any point? Did they intersect at any point? Did they cross at any point? No. And also the yellow lines, did they meet at any point? No. Here all we have spaces between them, equal spaces. So this means anytime I have lines that they never ever meet with each other, I can call these lines parallel lines. Means they don't intersect, they don't meet, they don't cross. Okay, so my lines, they're going to be parallel lines. I'm going to show you some examples from real life about parallel lines. If you look at the t-shirt here, you're going to see the lines on that t-shirts, they are parallel to each other. The lines of the electricity, the yellow lines here, they are showing parallel lines also. The line of the fence also, these are parallel lines, they're not going to meet at all. And I have here also parallel lines, if you notice. If you look at these pictures, you're going to tell me directly these are intersecting lines because they are meeting at a point, which is this point, right? And here this point. It's true, but I will tell you a small thing, that anytime we have intersecting lines, that they can make, when they meet, an L shape, and at their corner we can draw a small square. I'll show you how. Small square, small, also another square. So I can define this drawing, instead of saying intersecting lines, I can say they are perpendicular lines, because these lines, they cross with each other, they meet with each other here, but also they make a perfect corner, a perfect square at each corner, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And also you're going to see it can have an L shape. If you want to help you more, it can make an L shape. Okay, I want to ask you something. If I have this drawing, and So I have these two lines. Can I call these two purple lines perpendicular lines or only intersecting lines? If you can see here, I can't draw a perfect corner, a square corner. So but they are intersecting at this point. So here I have intersecting lines, but I don't have perpendicular lines. Here are some real life examples about perpendicular lines. You're going to see that I have here this sign. I can draw a perfect square here. It makes an L shape also. So these are perpendicular lines. Also I have this with this intersecting lines intersecting here, but at the corner, I can make it from here if you want. I can make a small tiny square. It's not shown in a perfect way, but anytime you can draw a perfect square at the corner, this means you have perpendicular lines. We reached the end of our lesson. Hope you enjoyed our first lesson in geometry. Most of the concept in this lesson, it's all about definitions. You have to know what's the meaning of a point, lines, line segments, intersecting lines, parallel lines, and perpendicular lines, and how to draw these terms. So if I'm going to ask you, draw for me perpendicular lines, you need to know how, or figure out parallel lines from the picture. You need to know what are these two lines from the picture. Thank you.